That night, my heart was stolen by my best friend's son. My name is Lauren. I always thought of myself as a devoted wife. But one sunny morning, as I was decorating my garden for a party, everything changed. I stood on a shaky ladder, lights surrounding the patio. The sun was shining, filling the backyard with warmth and joy. Preparing for my daughter Kathy's birthday always brings me joy. Even though most of the work falls on my shoulders, my husband Greg is often too busy to help. The ladder trembled slightly under my feet, but I continued my work, accustomed to these small inconveniences. Just then I heard a voice that startled me. "Hi, Lauren. Do you need help?" The voice was deeper than I remembered. When I turned around, I almost lost my balance. Standing in front of me was Michael, my best friend Sarah's son. "Oh, Michael, thank you. I really appreciate it," I replied, trying to stay calm as I climbed down the ladder. He stepped forward to steady it, and our hands briefly touched. That simple touch triggered an unexpected wave of emotions inside me. "I just got here and found you need help," Michael said. "You are so nice," I replied. The lightness of his confident movements was mesmerizing. My heart began to beat faster every time our hands accidentally touched. "College is okay," I tried to strike up a conversation with him. "Lauren, studies and social life are good, but it is better to be home. Everything seems calmer compared to campus," he replied, smoothing the tablecloth with ease. I laughed, but my laugh sounded a little nervous. Our eyes met for a moment, which seemed to last forever. In that moment, I realized that a simple touch, a smile, could ignite feelings I had long forgotten. As the night drew closer, shadows began to stretch across the lawn. Guests began to arrive. The party was full of energy and laughter. As the party began, I noticed that among the guests was Michael. I was quickly attracted by his charm. Attracted attention. We met again at the drinking table. Michael became the center of attention, telling an interesting story. When he saw me, he paused and handed me a glass. "Lauren," he said, "hello. Leaving the last of my favorite drink for you." "Thank you, Michael. I think I really needed this," I replied as our fingers touched again. That familiar spark ran through me. I took a sip to hide my embarrassment, noticing the curious looks of the partygoers nearby. We slowly moved to a more secluded spot in the garden. The dim lighting and private atmosphere allowed for a more intimate session. "Lauren," he began to call me by my first name for the first time. His voice sounded almost intimate. "How is life in the suburbs?" "Of course, it's not all parties and home renovations," I replied with a smile. He smiled too. His eyes lingered on me longer than usual. It sounded thrilling. "Maybe you need more excitement in your life." His voice was low and seductive. Before I could reply, Kathy's voice broke the tension. Her tone was playful but curious. "It looks like you have charmed the most important lady here, Michael," she said loudly, drawing laughter from those around us. I blushed. "Kathy, you know I've always had a soft spot for your family." My voice was soft, but my heart was pounding with excitement and fear. Michelle gave me a quick, incredible look before smiling at Kathy. "Just staying good company, Mom." The whole evening passed in a fleeting blur. Each interaction with Michael brought me a thrill that I tried hard to suppress. His problem was that I needed more excitement in my life, echoing in my mind, pushing the boundaries of my comfort zone. As the party wound down and the guests began to leave, I felt both relieved and disappointed. That night was more than I expected. saying goodbye to Michael. Our hands lingered briefly, his touch a silent promise of unresolved feelings. "Good night, Lauren," he whispered. His voice only rang in my ears. "Good night, Michael," I replied quietly. I felt guilt and anticipation intertwined in my chest. After the party, I tried to return to my normal life, but the thought of Michael kept haunting me. Every time I passed by the garden or saw the lights we hung together, our brief encounters and conversations would reappear in my memory. It was crazy. How could I allow myself to obsess over my best friend's son? Greg was as engrossed in his work as always. Conversations with me were limited to business. Taking care of Kathy, it was my routine. But now it felt suffocating. One day, I decided to leave the house, spend time at my favorite cafe, distract myself and find some peace. When I walked in, the doorbell greeted me, mixed with the aroma of freshly brewed coffee and pastries. The cafe has always been my paradise, a place where I could escape the daily hustle and bustle. After ordering my usual cappuccino, I found a seat. Unexpectedly spotted Michael, sitting in the corner with his laptop. "Lauren, what a surprise!" he called out as soon as he saw me. He waved and invited me to join him. My heartbeat began to speed up. I felt a blush on my cheeks,